Hello and welcome. This is Damien with Dicejunkies and a squeaky chair. I'm doing a video in Fallout 4, and today the video is going to be about a mod that I ran across while watching another YouTuber do a live stream. It's going to be kind of a complex mod, easy to use though, and I'll walk through the steps of it and everything. But the mod is called Survival Options. And for those of us who play a lot of Fallout 4 and we play on survival mode, there were things in survival mode that we didn't really care for. Frequency of diseases, frequency of having to eat and sleep and drink and all that, the ability to save, and sometimes the ability to fast travel. Now, I'm not a big advocate of fast traveling in survival mode. I like the fact that you can't really fast travel because as the game progresses, you'll get options that let you, summon vertibirds or teleport, things like that. So that's not the big deal for me. For me, it was the frequency of diseases, damage, and then eating, sleeping, and drinking so much in the game just to try to go through a survival playthrough. So as I was saying, I was watching another YouTuber do a live stream on Fallout 4, and he had this mod, and I was like, that's pretty cool that they have a mod now that you can actually go in and tweak these options to better suit your playstyle. I like the hardcore mode from Fallout New Vegas, and with this mod, well, there we go. You can kind of do that. So, let me first off drink a little water. All right. And then I'm going to go into the mod while we're here. So whenever you start the game, go to your miscellaneous folder in your Pip-Boy, and you want to go down and you want to find Survival Options Holotape. And this will be loaded in whenever, if you have the mod active and you start a game, this will be loaded in. Now, I want to make a quick note. You have to be in survival mode for this to actually work properly. I've tried it at the very hard, but it is survival options. So, to the best of my knowledge, you have to be in survival for it to actually work correctly. Now, starting at the top, it's got that word, toggleable options. So let's just click that and have a look-see. You can toggle survival carry penalties, damage when over encumbered, which you can see I have that off because I think that's the stupidest thing ever. Fast travel, I have it on right now because I was testing it, and I'm going to show you, that you can fast travel while you're in survival. And then I'm going to turn it off for the rest of my playthrough. But I do have it on for testing purposes. Companion auto heal, I have that off. I kind of, except for when I'm at the top of a building and they fall off the steps rather stupidly, and I have to go all the way back down and heal them. Other than that, I actually like having to go, if my companion goes down, having to go heal them and then getting back into combat. It adds a realism factor for me. Adrenaline, you can turn it on or off. I just slept, so mine's not built up too much, but prior to me sleeping, I had plus 50% damage due to adrenaline. To me, that's great. I like that. Limb auto healing, I have that off. And then bottle filling. In survival mode, you can fill bottles anyway, but you can actually go in and you can toggle this on or off. All right, so that's the first one. That's things that you can actually toggle. Now, you can go into your hunger options. As you can see, mine's on because that's part of the hardcore from New Vegas and part of survival from Fallout that I really enjoy. You can set the debuffs, the hunger rate. You can go in, you can set food values. Mine is still set at vanilla. I don't have a problem with it. And then you can toggle hunger from items, which is still on. Like, what that means is, like, if you take rat away, you get hungry. You get a debuff because you're hungry because you took rat away. You can toggle that off. Whatever fits your play style on that, honestly. Like I said, some things bug me in survival and some things do not. But you can do the same thing for thirst and sleep. You can do it for fatigue. You can do disease options. This is one that I went into. I don't mind diseases, but here's what I think. If you're bitten by a mole rat, or if you're attacked by a ghoul, or some other creature in the game, or bitten by a dog, I think there should be a reasonable expectation of getting some kind of disease. If you sleep 20 times for 1 hour to save the game each time you sleep, I don't think you should get a disease or an illness or, fatigue or something like that from doing that. But I think that you should be able to have other ways to save in the game other than just sleeping in a bed. And we'll cover that. That's actually covered in this mod too. So I left them on for right now. If it gets too annoying for me, I'm just going to turn them off because the way they did it's kind of ridiculous to me. But you can also toggle the immunodeficiency debuff. Like if you take rat away, you're more susceptible to diseases. You can turn that off. So that's actually a good thing. So you have some control over the diseases now, just like you do everything else. Now this one's very important, and I would caution you when you use this in combat options because you can basically break the game. And I will explain that just a bit here. When you go into combat options, you're going to see incoming damage multipliers and outgoing damage multipliers. Now, the incoming damage, that's the damage they're doing to you. The vanilla is 2 times damage, double damage. You can set it all the way up to triple damage, or you can turn it all the way down to 0.25% damage. I think the enemy shooting me needs to be at least double damage, because if not, they're never going to kill me. Because I have all the perks, and I set my character up to be tanky and survivable. This is survival mode. That's what it's about. You want to survive the encounter. So I build my characters to be able to survive. If I turn their damage all the way down, then they're never going to kill me. It's not going to be fun. It's not. There's no risk there. So I generally leave it about double damage. Now I'm going to be honest with you. I put them on triple damage, 3 times damage. And I'm just going to tell you, that sucks. You can get hurt really quickly by doing that. And I don't recommend it unless, you're a sadomasochist maybe. On the other side of this coin is your output damage. Now, you can see the vanilla is 1.5. Now, I've turned mine down to 1.25. I've actually made it where I do less damage than you would in the vanilla game. The reason being is because I'm running through the game one-shotting everything. I one-shot a Deathclaw with a 10mm pistol. That's not right. You can turn your damage all the way up to triple damage, but that's just stupid. I haven't tried it. I put my damage on 0.75, and I ran through, and it took a little bit longer to kill stuff, but it still didn't feel quite right. 1.25 feels pretty decent because you're still going to one-shot something, but there's also the chance that there's going to be multiple targets. You're going to be ducking and running, and you may not get a good hit on them. You may not crit. It still leaves a bit of risk, a bit of excitement. You're not just going to one-shot something. So that's what I actually like. But I do caution you to be very careful when you set these values, because if you set them too low a damage and you too high a damage, you're just going to walk through the game. And that's not fun. That's not a challenge. That's not what the game is designed to be. So be very careful when you adjust your damages. And going on down the list, you can do cell respawn options. That just sets the respawn for certain enemies in the game. When you leave one cell and you go to the next one, say it's the mass pike tunnel, and you go in there and you wipe out all the raiders and all the ghouls, and normally, every 15 minutes they'd respawn or something. You can go in and you can set it out. you can like this says here, cleared, not cleared. You can, like, if you've cleared the area, you can go in and you can set it on their current respawn value. Now, I have not delved into this because I don't really care to change what speed something respawns at. The vanilla is fine with me, but you can go in and you can, if you want to do that, you can test that for yourself and see, how quickly or how slowly you can make something respawn. But that's what this is set up for. It's a nice option. I don't use it. I don't have any reason to. I don't mind things respawning at the current speed, so that's not a big deal for me. Bed options, you can set them as, like this one is sleeping bags or sleeping bags. That's vanilla. But you could set them as sleeping bags or mattresses and sleeping bags or beds. Now, what this is, for those who don't know, most of you probably do, because if you played survival, you know how that works. But a sleeping bag you can sleep in, I believe, 3 hours is all you can sleep in the sleeping bag. A mattress, which is just a mattress on the floor, is 5 hours, and then a bed is 8 hours. And you can actually set sleeping bags as beds. You can set mattresses as beds or as sleeping bags. And then, of course, you can set beds the same way. I don't have a problem with being able to only sleep in a sleeping bag for 3 hours. It doesn't really bother me that much, because usually when I'm going through the game, the only reason I sleep is to save that particular progress. So if it's a sleeping bag, I'm only going to click on it for an hour anyway, and that's gonna save the game there. So this, you can set it up where you could carry a sleeping bag with you and get a full night's sleep, setting it as a bed. If you want to do that, you have the option to do that now. And then the needs display. When I needed water there just a few moments ago, it popped up and showed all of my current needs at that particular moment and where I was on them, basically to give me a meter on how long it's going to be before I need to eat or sleep again. So you can go through here and you can select, weight needs display, it's off, sleep needs, I have it on. When I need some sleep, I want it to pop up and go, hey, you might need some sleep. But that way, that just helps me to determine, how much longer I can stay up to build up more adrenaline to do more damage. This particular character is built basically to thrive off of adrenaline. No sleep, adrenaline builds up, do more damage. That's basically how I've got this character fixed. So I need to know where I'm at on the sleep meter, basically. But you can go through and you can set these wherever you want them. You can turn them on, like eat or drink needs. I have it on. If I need to eat or drink, that doesn't affect my adrenaline, so it'll pop up a display and I'll go, okay, let me go ahead and do that before I get a debuff, because I've left the debuffs on and all that. So as you can see, that's pretty much, and then of course you have the save options. I'm going to cover those, but that's pretty much everything that you can do to the game itself to tweak it more to your liking. Now in the save options, you got a sell change save option. You have a wait save option. Like you sit in a chair and you wait for an hour, it'll save. Time saves, every 15 minutes it'll save the game, or every 5 minutes it'll save the game. I don't really like that one because I want to be able to save at any given moment, basically. I do not like what they did with saving in survival, so I actually have other mods that allow me to do different types of saves. But this mod also gives you lots of save options. Full health out of combat save, level up saves, auto save items. This will put an item that you can just click it and it'll save the game. Just stuff like that. So as you can see, that's pretty much the entire, you can reset everything to default too. But this mod allows you to tweak your survival experience more to your liking. And to me, it feels more like the hardcore version of New Vegas than the survival that they actually came up with. I am a fan of the survival mode. I don't want that to be mistaken. I'm a big fan of survival. I love it. I didn't like some options in survival. So I'm going to show you a couple of things just real quick. First, let's go in and let's look. You can see I can't save here, so that automatically tells you I'm in survival mode, but just so you can see for yourself, there's survival. Alright. Now, let's say I'm in Sanctuary, as you can see here, me and Piper. And let's go to the map, and let's just, let's go over to Abernathy. I'm in survival, but I'm going to fast travel, because I have fast travel turned on. This just shows you it works. You can turn it on, you can turn it off, you can keep it off. It doesn't matter. I'm just showing you that it actually works. I'm going to turn it off after this video. And of course we have our famous, Bethesda load screens that take forever. But there's not a lot we can really do about that, is it? All in all, I'm very happy with this mod. I've tweaked things out, and you can see on the left, you can see my hunger and thirst and sleep. But I'm very happy with this mod. It let me, it let me set the values I wanted. Now, you can see I did not one-shot him. These are gunners, and they may actually put me to shame here, but all right. And yeah, because I couldn't see this guy. But anyway, you can see the damage that I was taking. This is actually very good. You can see the damage I was taking and the damage I was putting out. That was a 10 millimeter submachine gun. I took 3 of them out fairly easily, but they turned around and they really put the hurt on me. So that is with it, pretty much tweaked out. I'm doing less damage. They're doing double damage. So you can see how that actually works. You could tweak that down where they wouldn't do so much damage to you. And if I would have done that, I would have survived that encounter. So that was a really good example of the damage in the game. And anyway, I think that's a pretty good coverage on the mod. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative. If you have any questions, just throw them down in the comments. I will tell you, you can quit the game and load screen again. But you can come down here to mods in the game itself, and you can find survival options here. I got mine from the Nexus. I use Nexus Mod Manager, so I downloaded mine from the Nexus. But you can come down here to search, and you can type in survival options, and it'll pull it up here. Right here. I had to click twice, but it goes right into survival options here. The person that I saw playing it, they were on an Xbox, so I know you can get it on an Xbox. I'm on PC. I can only assume that you can get it on PS4. I'm not telling you can. I can only assume it. So if you've got a PlayStation, check it out. See if you can get it if you want it. Other than that, that should cover everything about the mod, where you can get it, the different aspects of it, and how you can tweak the game out better to your liking. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Hope it was informative. Leave a comment and enjoy. Have a great day.